Hey guys, it's Jirogane, and now I'll be showing you a tutorial for Caesar Zeppeli. And he doesn't really have exploits really, but he does have combos and yada yada yada. So yeah, this took me a while to do. Like, I don't know, I was distracted by JoJo's Bizarre Adventure MMD videos. Yeah, I just came up with my recommendations and I just got so distracted. Without further ado, let's get started.
シーザーシーザーいや、なんでもない始めてくれジョジョお前の
Now with Caesar, he's his R1 is basic hormone charge, and it's faster than JoJo's, but not fast as Jonathan's. But yeah, he's like, I'll say he's third place, like second, third place. And what his hormone gauge is, what it supplies is his square skills. Like, the higher the gauge, the more bubbles he can throw, and that's basically it. And it also stuns, so you can run into them and do this kind of stuff. Yeah, he's pretty strong, but you have to catch enemies off guard for that. Did he just say sexy? Oh wow. He does have a square triangle, and I prefer this better than his regular combo ender, because it ends with a long opening kick and it just gets in the way. And his circle skill is unblockable. You cannot block this, and it does like 10% damage, 10 to 20% damage. And the X version, the L2, is actually just stronger. It just does more damage, and that is still unblockable, and it comes out faster. And the R2 is his hormone cutter. It just comes out faster and does more damage. Yeah, it's kind of hard, his combos, because his first initial attack takes a second. Like, for instance, like this, that takes a second to do, so you really shouldn't be going into enemy's face and doing this like that. So it's best just to just throw this out, then dash, do a side kick, hit stun, and go crazy. Yeah, he's very combo heavy, and a lot of people don't like Caesar because everyone assumes he's an average Joe. Yeah, I think my microphone's glitching, I'm not sure, I hope not. And in Dual Rush, he can spam, and the higher the hormone gauge, the faster the cooldowns. So let's just fill this up and spam. He can spam, and in final stand, he can spam this infinitely in the air, and he's untouchable. So yeah, that's one way to use his attacks in Dual Rush. And his triangle skill, and you really won't be using this, but it sets 2 lenses, and anyone that touches this gets stunned. Not as in stunned, but they just get like pushed back a little bit. And yeah, it doesn't really last that long, and it's kind of useless in my opinion. So let's just ignore that skill completely. So again, his L2 is just an advanced version of his circle skill, and these are unblockable. It just comes out faster. So it's kind of good, just combo into the bubbles and always end with a square triangle. And he does have a knockdown. It's like a weird bubble thing, I don't understand, but yeah, it does that. And his combos are pretty great, and his unblockable is very short range, but as you saw me do before, it's best just to do a dive kick then do this, because it will always connect most of the time. Well, like 90% of the time, like this. And that's enough time to connect bubbles. And you can do this on enemies that are against the walls. Yeah, he's definitely saying sexy. What's wrong with you, Joseph? So yeah, he does have a square triangle in the air, and it shoots bubbles straight downwards. Now, you really don't do that on enemies if you have them in the air, so you just do this really. Like that. And I would say that Kaiser is. I said Kaiser. I'm sorry. I grew up in Rome. Caesar is you're supposed to support your partner. Really, just support your partner's enemy, and yeah, that's just basically the gist of it. And you can always combo start with this because it leaves them wide open. And you can connect it with on wall crash, and that does a lot of damage. That was very sexy. Okay. You can also do it something like that, just to mix it up a bit. But then again, like, his attacks are kind of slow. Yeah, and was basically fucked because he was picking up Stray Cat. So this is basically Caesar, guys. This is all he needs to know. There's nothing really exploitable about him besides in Dual Rush or in Final Stand. So, but yeah, his initial attacks are hard to come out because it does take a second. So again, you can just jump up behind them, hit stun. Oh yeah, and by the way, it's not good to combo into this side dash because it takes longer than the initial front dash. So yeah, and you can easily combo into his DHA with the stun. So this is Caesar Zeppeli. Enjoy, guys.